What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated, unified, WBO, WBA, IBF, Ring Magazine, WBC, franchise, lightweight, world champion, superstar boxer, Teofimo Lopez responds to all of the people and all of the naysayers that are saying that he needs to indeed force the fight to face off against undefeated WBC lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney. Teofimo Lopez, he now stated that at one point in time that he sent the offer to Devin Haney, Devin Haney's father, manager, and trainer, Bill Haney, a contract offer. He stated that he also sent a contract over to undefeated mandatory challenger George Kambosos Jr. to face off against him in his next fight. Now Teofimo Lopez is stating that he is indeed trying to get George Kambosos. He respects George Kambosos, but he's now trying to get George Kambosos to step aside, essentially, because he and his father are tired of all of the talk between himself and Devin Haney. So now he's stating that he wants to face Devin Haney because he's tired of all the chatter. Today we understand that he claimed that he sent a contract over, and then Bill Haney, he comes out and he states that he never received anything from Teofimo Lopez team, nor Teofimo Lopez promoter, legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO, Bob Arum. And Teofimo Lopez had did a live on his social media in which he stated that he sent over a contract, right? Which proved to be either the contract didn't get there yet or he never sent it over. Now Teofimo Lopez does another interview and he's stating that he's just absolutely fed up with all of the Devin Haney talk, and now he just wants Devin Haney to get ready because that's absolutely his number one focus. Let's listen to what he had to say regarding this situation.
We make that fight happen with either Josh Taylor or Jose Ramirez. But yeah, man, I've been told him, man, I try to with Devin and everything, man, but I think it got to the point where I'm just fed up. Me and my pops, we fed up, and I just said, man, let's just press this dude. I don't care what it got to take. I know I'm gonna respect the fact that Kambosos is my mandatory. We're gonna work on that part because I gotta get that part first. But if things go south, like I said, man, Devin, be ready, my man, because I'm gonna fuck you up.
So you heard him now. Now he's saying if things go south with Kambosos, he's looking to essentially get Kambosos out the way. He says that he has one more fight at 135 pounds. He believes that he can make 135 pounds at least one more time in his career before he goes up north to 140 junior welterweight division. He says that he and his dad are fed up with all of the Devin Haney talk. And he has to, essentially iron out the details with George Kambosos Jr. Because he's his mandatory. So he said he got to respect the fact that George Kambosos Jr. is his mandatory, and he has to iron out. So he has to iron out those details with George Kambosos. He said he respect the fact that George Kambosos is his mandatory challenger, and he has to iron out those details. Essentially, I'm taking it as if he means that he has to get some sort of step aside for George Kambosos. George Kambosos is Australian fighter. Teofimo Lopez stated that he wanted to go to, Australia and challenge George Kambosos in front of 60,000 fans and introduce himself to a new audience, right? Sell his brand, promote himself, right? But with that said, we know that Australia is shut down due to the pandemic, due to social distancing. Sports are shut down over there in Australia. So George Kambosos is right now training in Florida. Bob Arum already has it set up where they'll fight in the bubble. So he's stating that he's trying to iron out these details. He's trying to do, push that to the side so he can satisfy the situation because they are fed up with this Devin Haney talk and chatter. You should be fed up with Devin Haney talk and chatter because we understand the process of how we got to this situation. And now, this is not Teofimo Lopez's fault that the WBC sanctioned body and Mauricio Suleiman have put him in this position, because essentially that's what they've done, where he can't officially claim that he's undisputed, because we know that Luke Campbell and Vasyl Lomachenko fought for a vacant WBC title that was vacated by 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Mikey Garcia. Luke Campbell lost to Vasyl Lomachenko. Lomachenko beat him. Then Lomachenko essentially vacated that WBC title, asked to be franchised. According to the WBC, he petitioned to be franchised. There's only one other franchise fight in the history of the sport of boxing. That was Canelo Alvarez just a few months earlier. And the WBC abide by his they confirmed it, and they stood by it. They authorized it. And with that said, now Vasyl Lomachenko, the WBC claimed that you can't win or lose the franchise title, right? And so with that said, Vasyl Lomachenko, he could essentially be undisputed if he won the fight, but if the guy defeats him, they can't be franchised and they won't be considered undisputed. So with that said, he lost to Teofimo Lopez. Now the WBC is changing the rules once again and stating that, well, he is the franchise champion. Well, now he's officially the WBC lightweight champion. At the same token, they're saying that Devin Haney is officially the WBC lightweight world champion. So this confusion is not on the part of Teofimo Lopez. It's more so on the part of the WBC. But with that said, Teofimo Lopez understands that the mass majority of the boxing world, pundits, understand that he is not officially the WBC lightweight world champion because he needs to beat Devin Haney, because Devin Haney fought for the vacant WBC lightweight world title that was vacated by Vasyl Lomachenko when he petitioned to be franchised, and the WBC abided by it and gave him what he asked for and granted him to be a franchise champion. That way he didn't have to honor his mandatory challenger. And they stated that originally you cannot be win or lose the franchise title. Essentially, it's a trophy. But they will honor you if you win the fight because you officially didn't lose the belt in the fight. They will honor you as the WBC champion. So if you was in a unification bout, you could be undisputed. But a fighter that you're going against, your opponent cannot win it if he defeats you. A la the same situation where we have David Benavidez at a super middleweight. David Benavidez was the WBC super middleweight world champion. He lost his title on the scale. He still pushed forward with the fight. So essentially he still had the fight with his opponent in which he was successful. He beat his opponent. But guess what? Due to the fact that he missed weight on the scale, you cannot earn the belt back, okay? Your opponent can pick up the belt if they defeat you, but you can't pick up the belt because you lost it on the scale. So a similar situation to that. You can't lose or gain it. So David Benavidez's opponent, he beat his opponent, so the belt stayed vacant, in which we saw Saul Canelo Alvarez just fight Caleb Smith for the vacant WBC super middleweight title in a unification bout that the WBA title was also on the line. So you cannot, David Benavidez wasn't in a position to regain the belt, even though he won because he lost it on the scale. So it's essentially the same type of situation with Vasyl Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. So Teofimo Lopez does not officially hold the WBC title. Okay, the official WBC champion is Devin the Dream Haney. And now we have Mauricio Sulaiman go and do an interview and says, whoever don't like it, he's tired of explaining this. He's confused himself. And now he's stating that, you know, it just is what it is. He wants to leave it as that. He don't want to be questioned about it because he added more confusion to the sport of boxing that didn't need to be there. So with that said, after the fight, when Teofimo Lopez defeated Lomachenko, as I predicted he would, after he defeated him, became unified, he stated after that he would challenge Devin Haney for undisputed if that's what it took for the people that didn't believe he was undisputed. And if Devin Haney would accept the fight, he stated that he would indeed go into that fight and fight Devin Haney because he's more like Pretty Boy Floyd than Money Mayweather. And he knows that he has to go through levels within the sport of boxing. So he stated that he don't mind fighting Devin Haney. That turned into he needs $5 million to fight Devin Haney. Maybe the fight won't take place for 5 years down the line because Devin Haney didn't look so great against Yuriorkis Gamboa. Never mind how he looked against Yuriorkis Gamboa because you're not at the top. You're not at the top of the level of the sport like Floyd Mayweather was or Canelo Alvarez is. And when essentially they're choosing an opponent, they say, well, this opponent didn't look that great, so it might not be that big of a draw. It might not be that big of a sell, because people may say, well, you fighting an opponent that didn't look that great. That's for pound status, #1 status, the face of the sport of boxing. That's what that fighter, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, they do that type of thing. Teofimo Lopez is still carving out his niche, right? He's still new to the scene. Now, he did get a big win. He picked up a big win against Lomachenko and Richard Coleman, but he's still carving out his niche. He's yet to get to that level of a fighter where he could just say, well, this fighter didn't look good. When Devin Haney looked good, he won every single round against Yuriorkis Gamboa. He's not a power puncher, so you can't expect him to knock out Yuriorkis Gamboa, and that's not his game, okay? So with that said, he should have already been looking to naturally fight Devin the Dream Haney, because it's a natural fight, okay? And then he stated that, well, if Gervonta Tank Davis is going to fight Ryan Garcia, then maybe I should be fighting against Devin Haney. Absolutely. That should have been plan A. Now, we understand that George Kambosos Jr. is definitely the mandatory challenger, so you have to acknowledge that. But with that said, you know, the fight that he should be looking towards is indeed the fight with Devin Haney, to close the door, to leave no doubt, to beat Devin Haney, and there won't be any, you know, any doubt as to who is the undisputed lightweight world champion. And it's historic, because we had undisputed lightweight champions, but none held all 4 major sanction bodies. So he's creating history along with his legacy. Now imagine he beats Richard Coleman, Vasyl Lomachenko, and Devin Haney. That speaks volumes for your resume, okay? So this should have been plan A to begin with. So let's see how this all unfolds and plays out. But you heard what Teofimo Lopez had to say. He says that he and his dad are fed up with the Devin Haney talk, and they're looking to make that fight happen next. He's looking essentially to, you know, settle things with George Kambosos Jr., who's his mandatory, but he wants to fight Devin Haney. He's saying he hopes Devin Haney's next, because he's going to, you know, inflict some damage upon Devin Haney. But let's see how this all plays out and unfolds. That's all I got for y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, or one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Peace.